know what I'm saying? And boom.
Yo, man, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Two Pals Podcast. Well, you already know you got your main man, the postman. I got my main man, D-Rod's mother main man, LD. And today, we just happen to have a very special guest. LD, who we got, man?
Hey, he is from, by God, West Virginia. He's a
Okay,
father. He's a son.
okay,
He's a jiu-jitsu fighter.
okay.
Earned a full ride scholarship to Arizona University and a college grad.
Okay.
Former NFL running back for the Browns and the Jets.
Okay.
Motivational speaker, entrepreneur, devoted Christian, Chris Jennings.
Damn, welcome in, Chris Jennings. God
LD, man.
damn, what? Hey, man, glad to bring you on. Boy, it's gonna be a good one. So we're gonna get right into it. Let's introduce the people to Chris Jennings. Tell us a little bit about who Chris Jennings is. Give us some of your background, you know what I'm saying, where you come from, and all those different things, man. If you would.
Gotcha. Man, Chris Jennings. So I was born in LA and I was raised in West Virginia, Huntington to be exact. And
Okay.
grew up with my grandparents. They helped raise me at that time and helped my mom out. She was always there, but she was young. You know, she was 21, so helped her out and grew up in a very solid on a very solid foundation. You know what I'm saying? Uh, my environment were around pastors, assistant pastors, musicians, really solid people for real. And I really didn't know anything
Okay.
about division and this crazy world we live in until I went off the porch. So yeah, man, it was some solid human beings I was blessed with to be raised around growing up. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
Oh man, that's amazing right there, man.
yeah.
So
And then and you said you went to Arizona on a scholarship. So
Mhm.
for me, how was that? You know, because like, did you have anybody before you who was an athlete like that to know what it took to get that scholarship? Because getting a D1 scholarship is not easy during these times.
Hmm. Yeah, man. Well, I take it back even before that. Those who really inspired me to even play this game was LD. I remember seeing him. My cousin JoJo at the time. She was dating a guy named Jerry Harris, and so I used to always just sit in front of TV and watch these guys go back and forth and do their job. And from there, man, I just fell in love with the game. And fast forward, opportunities arose. I missed my ACT by a point, so I had to go Purdue, West Virginia, pretty much you name it, the Big East. Those teams back that way, they pointed me out west to go to junior college. So I had to come out this way. I never knew what a junior college was, to be honest. And
Hmm.
they said, man, go out west. They produce a lot of Division I players. So I went out, came out this way. Coincidentally, my grandparents lived up the street from Arizona Western in Yuma, Arizona. So from there, it just kind of made sense having family around in proximity. And but I know I was on a mission, a business trip. You know, I didn't come all the way all the way out this way to just go to a plan B or not to
Hmm.
follow out the mission and to go to the NFL is where I really wanted to go. But during that time, you know, it was like you have to go through the process. College first, then you can go on to the next level. So, anyways, came out this way, man, and stuck to the mission. And I remember my junior college coach at the time. He laughed, he chuckled. He said, "Hey, man, what's your plan A?" You know, I said, "My plan A is to go to Division I. Then I'm gonna go on to the league." And he kind of chuckled. He was like, yes, you know, a lot of guys say that, you know, and he's like, you know, what's your plan B? I said, well, there's no plan B. Plan A that's just what's gonna happen. And I said it with so much sincerity in my voice and my voice and my tone, my demeanor, it kind of shook him. I kind of felt his demeanor like he had the posture of different because there was no doubt in the room that was talking, if that makes sense. It was very like secure and
Okay.
confident, like this is what I'm doing. So anyways, I went ahead and went from there, All-American over at Arizona Western, proceeded on to Arizona, University of Arizona, I had UCLA call, USC called me during that time. Arizona State wanted me to play strong safety. I should have played defense. Hindsight 2020 when I look backward, back over my life. Defensive guys last a little bit longer than offensive guys, especially at that running back
Mm-hmm.
position.
Yeah, you're right, because those safeties coming down on that hole, barreling down on them, putting that thing to them every chance they get. So you're right. Y'all don't last long.
No,
You're right.
no. Yeah.
But go ahead. I'm
I'm gonna
sorry.
let
Go
LD
ahead. Go
have.
ahead.
I'm gonna let LD. LD was probably filling them holes, but not everybody. Every safety was coming down with that integrity. You know what I mean?
Hey,
So yeah,
hey,
for sure.
them defensive guys, boy, they be having all the energy and fun because they just come down here and just wreak
Big
havoc
dog.
every
Half of them shoot at your feet. They don't even want to hit you up top.
week.
Hey, the best ones is
Nah.
when y'all don't see us coming.
Hey,
Night,
so
night.
Chris. Hey, so
Night
Chris, I'm
night.
gonna do this, right?
Talk to me. Talk to me.
I wanna rewind, right? I wanna back up some,
Yeah.
right? And it's a twofold question, right? Because I just heard something whenever you was answering that last question about your level of confidence and your
Mm-hmm.
demeanor, right? But at what age did you fall in love with the game of football? And at what point did you develop that I know type of spirit or that level of confidence that no matter what, I'm gonna get to where I desire to be at?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a great question. I would say around 11 years old, my grandparents and them, I had to do something, I couldn't be in the house. I had to do
Okay.
something. So it was either basketball, football, or karate, actually. And I just fell in love with the game of contact. I really love contact. So that's probably where the
Mm-hmm.
defensive side of me could have, propelled. So, but when it comes to the age, it was 11, and then I would say the other part of that question. Say the one was the other part of that question. What
That's
age did I
what
fall in love, and then what I knew?
develop. Yeah.
Yeah, so when I was like 11, I did my thing. 12, I came back with confidence. 13, I was like, fam, I'm that guy, Like I'm
Okay.
that guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so around 13
Okay.
years old. Mm-hmm.
So you already knew early on, right, that you was destined to do this here. This was your calling,
Mm-hmm.
and you worked diligently to put in that work each day in and day out to say, no matter what, I done created Plan A, and Plan A
Mm-hmm.
has to work. Ain't
Mm-hmm.
no other options. My option's gonna come after Plan A has already ran its course. But right now, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sticking to this here. Damn, that's big.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's big.
yeah, because if you
Mm-hmm.
have doubt, that's what separates you from, getting to those next levels that some people can't attain. It's the
Mm-hmm.
doubt. Because like for instance, like you have a kid and people say, well,
Mm-hmm.
I may have to stop working. I may have to stop and, work and get a job, take care of my kids. Even though that's
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
probably the right thing in a sense to do, but then you gave up your dream. That means you gave up the doubt that,
Mm-hmm.
that kept you on course to get there because getting there, right, it's gonna take care of all that. And when you put
Mm-hmm.
other things in front of that, right? That's the
Mm-hmm.
separation. Like those guys who tunnel vision and got plan A and plan A will work because they put in the work
Mm-hmm.
and they know that they got the confidence. Those guys usually stay on plan A. But when you
Mm-hmm.
have a doubt and you
Mm.
start thinking about plan B, then
Mm-hmm.
it's just subject to fall to plan B. So this
Mm-hmm.
a
Okay.
distinct
Okay.
difference and a distinct drive of plan A type
Mm-hmm.
guys.
Yeah,
But
that's
Okay.
do
it.
you think that was already in you and you just discovered it later, or?
Mm. Man, I was raised by some good Southern folk, man, and I remember it was a song called "His Eyes Is on the Sparrow," and that was a good, it's deeper than deep. Now that I look back at it, like, man, so my sparrow was the game. My sparrow was, chasing my dreams, right? So and I didn't shift to take my eyes off of it. So that and like you said, if you have any little glimpse of doubt, bro, like, that's like showing weakness in a sense, showing like when you go into war and you show that little weakness in your armor, that little chink in your armor, the enemy can see that and they won't attack that. And I guess for me,
Mm-hmm.
man, I really fell in love with the game and then confidence in myself. To be real frank, when the coach, I would say about my second year, when at 12 years old, when I realized that I could be rough, because I was raised, I have two sisters, and I wasn't allowed to be rough at the house, right? So then it was like,
Uh-huh.
Okay.
oh,
Okay.
I hit this guy, yeah, no, you go hard, and I'm like, oh, I could be rough. Then it was like, oh, like I just fell in love with it because now I could be, I could be myself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I could be rough. I can hit a guy, take out frustration, and get up and go do it again. And
Okay.
I guess with that notion behind it, oh man, I just really fell in love with the contact aspect of the game. And then when I got to high school, it was like going through a stressful week of school, teachers on your nerve, you dealing with all this crap. And then it's okay, I'm gonna wait till Friday. You know what I mean? Friday night lights. And now so I started to hone all that energy in. And then in Friday nights
Mm.
come, instead of like trying to get by somebody, I'm banging. You feel me? I gotta let that up out of there. Then we're gonna get up. I'm gonna do it again. Now the third time you gonna calm down, embracing yourself because you don't know what's finna come. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean it's deeper than deep, but that's kind of the substance of it all for sure.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
go ahead, coach.
no, when the mindset is trained that way, there's no fear. It's like
Right.
you're ready to run through anything. It's like the confidence level is like
Yeah.
you can do anything. And that's what's flowing
Mm-hmm.
and it's building because it's repetitious, it's continuous, like you want that. And everybody don't want
Mm-hmm.
that. You know what I'm saying? They get to a certain level. The people who really want it, that's what they live by. Like he said, he loved the
Mm-hmm.
physicality. Some people
Mm-hmm.
love finesse. Some people love, cushion. But the physicality part of it,
Mm-hmm.
right? He feel like ain't nobody gonna match him on that. We can keep doing it over and over and over again because I love it. And it's
Mm-hmm.
hard. You got to
Mm-hmm.
compete with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All four quarters? Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when
So,
you force your will on somebody.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Chris, I want to ask you this, right? Growing up, right, with that mentality that you developed, right? Looking back now, who would you say had the biggest impact or influence on you having that sense of confidence and that type of mentality, the way you approach the game of football?
Man, uh, it is like I said, it's deeper than deep. And because I combine how I was raised all into um the lessons that would. So I was raised on this type of level. I had to go out and sweep the front porch, right? And I did a bad job. I didn't do a good job. And she said, no, you gonna stay out here until you get this right. So it was like little things like that where I had to sweep the porch, but I was like, okay, well, is you ain't gonna find a speck or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I swept it to the best I could, not knowing like, okay, translate that over into your adult life or future on down your life. Anything you do, you want to do it to the best of your ability. Anything this
Mm,
podcast, selling, doing brokering, real estate, whatever it is, you want to do it to the best of your ability. And I would say that's still back from my grandmother, for real. Just
okay.
demanding greatness. I wasn't raised to believe like I was anybody else. I was raised like, nah, we're not following the crowd. Like if they jump off the bridge, you gonna jump with them. So I was raised on that type of notion that okay, I am different. I'm not like everybody else. So that goes back to my upbringing and my grandparents and definitely my grandmother for sure.
That's what's
Hey,
up,
so
though.
now, Chris, traveling through um childhood,
Mhm,
now through high school,
mhm,
and now having to go to the West Coast, and then
mhm,
from the West Coast, now enduring playing for the first school, now ending up at AU, right?
mhm.
Um, how was that transition for you as a young man, making that transition?
Man, it was to me going to junior college like the best thing ever. I'll be honest. Junior college was a different animal. It was like you in the middle of nowhere. It's folk from everywhere. And coming from Huntington, all you really knew was like people in that area, Ohio, up the road, across the bridge, Kentucky. That was it. It really that was really it for real. So but going over it on the West Coast to Yuma, Arizona to A-Dub, we call it A-Dub. It was guys from Georgia, Florida. It was Hawaii, Connecticut, New York. It was all this plethora and mixed of guys that came from everywhere, Cali. That it was like so. It was a beautiful. It was to me. It was beautiful because it was like I get to experience. Now I was good. I would say one of the best back where I'm from, and now I'm out here with a collective, team of guys who are good where they from. Now we get to mix and match. Now transitioning, taking that what you asked me on to the University of Arizona, it did something to my confidence that first off, it wasn't all like, oh, it's a family and it's all together and lovey-dovey. It was guys in JUCO, 22, 23, like, man, fuck, like, excuse language, fuck all that family stuff. Like, I gotta get out of here. Like, they was on a mission. You know what I'm saying? So going from and being around that, it matured me, not to say forget the family mentality, but it matured me and grew me in a way that I gotta go get mine. I gotta fight for everything want in this life. I gotta fight for that. So going from there to University of Arizona, it was low, like I'm not gonna say low key, high key. I could see each and every immature person in the room because I just came from JUCO with 22, 23-year-olds. So, and I'm 19 at the time, going on to U of A. I'm seeing the immaturity in the room. I'm seeing, oh, these guys don't want this. They even after we would do some workouts, I'm like, hey man, let's go get another workout in. They're like, oh nah, CJ, like thanks, but nah, I'm good. And I'll tell you, none of those guys that said I'm good went to the league. You know what I'm saying? So, but the guys at JUCO, for real, they went harder than the guys at U of A. So it was kind of really confusing because I'm like, oh, this politics. Ain't no way in the world these guys, they not getting the look. And then I'm over here and these guys hella comfortable with a Scully. And I'm like, some ain't adding up, you know? So, but yeah, the transition and from junior college and grown men and kind of rough around the edges, it did a lot for me. And I'm grateful for that. Yeah, for sure.
So would you say that, because I heard you say your junior college experience just so happens to be one of the best things that happened to you, right? Because you was able to experience a wide variety of individuals who from where they from, they had that dog in them. They felt like they was that. And then
Come on now.
you coming out of Huntington and you like, shit, I'm him. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for my SAT score, I wouldn't
let's
even be here.
Let's run it.
But I'm here, so I got a point to prove as well. You know what I'm saying? But that level of competition, because you got everybody that's hungry, that's willing to go the extra mile, gave you a certain type of push, right? But your grandmother, the way she raised you, had already gave you a certain type of edge over everything, anyways, because your whole main focus is to handle business. You strive to do the best that you can. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be no subpar shit going on. So how was it in those locker rooms or during those conversations at U of A when you seeing the work ethic had done changed? Because you can get in certain environments and you'll succumb to that. You'll get comfortable doing that as well. Oh shit, I ain't doing it. I'm finna go party. I'm finna go do this. How are you
I'm going
able
with that.
to keep a level head? How did that pan out?
Bro, I wanted to say this earlier, and we talking, and it's a great conversation, man. I really appreciate this for one. I want to say earlier, it was an experience I had when I was young, and his name was Bruh, and we was young. We was like 10, probably around that 10, 11 age, and they was chasing me, man. I was, come here, now I'm running, chasing me, big dog. So I got to the crib, I ran in the house, they was trying to jump me. So I don't know my father. Let's get that out there. I don't know my father. So I was raised by my grandparents. I'm half Samoan, half African American, but I was raised around. I'm the first boy to start the fifth generation, so it was like women. You feel me? And so, anyways, fast forward, I ran in the house. Never threw them things, not just yet. But ran the house and my grandmother came around. She's like, boy, what's wrong with you? And I was like, nah. She's like, nah, what's wrong with you? I said, they chasing me. She said, who? I said, bro, right now. She said, boy, if you don't get your butt up and go outside, I'm going to spank your butt. And then I'm going to send you outside. And if you come back in this house with your butt beat, I'm going to spank you. Like, it's going to be a repetitive cycle. I'm going to spank your butt. You going to go. So it's something clicked inside me that I'm not scared. I'm not going to get my ass whooped. I don't like whoopings. I mean, who love whoopings? I'm not going to get my ass
Okay.
whooped, right? And I'm not taking it. So fast forward, when I went to U of A and went through my junior college experience, that was that notion then that was set inside me that we got to run it and I'm not going to lose. You know what I'm saying? And you faster than me. Well, let's go outside. Or you want to da. Well, come on, let's run it. Like I had that. So that doubt that you said, Dimitri, I never, that shit was eradicated a long time ago. It was taken from me for the good, but it was taken from me. So I was left with no other option but to like, we're going to run it and I'm going to eventually win, but I'm not going to give up. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't go
Okay.
back in the house with
Okay.
my butt beat. You know what I'm saying?
It be some
So yes,
it be some
absolutely.
vicious
Where
things that have
What it be?
go ahead.
it be some vicious things be happening in them, you know, in them dorm, in locker room, you know what I'm saying, when it's man up time, bro.
Yeah.
I played at Cookman. And, you know, before the season started, we sizing everybody up. We doing our thing, right? But we got one-on-ones in the evening, getting it, talking about who, because everybody, I'm all American, I'm all state, I'm all this. Okay. Oh, yeah. We had Nation League score on our team. Why take them on that court, boy, and put it down, freshman. I wasn't playing. I said, I ain't care nothing about that. I mean, that
Care
coach
nothing
like, you
about
don't
it.
even know where I'm going, bro. Like, I'm that. Trust me.
Yeah.
What
But
what
you
they
have
say,
that.
if you
That's what
ever
you have.
want,
That's what you have in college. You got to be that dude. Not about you want to be. If you want that position, to start, are you gonna play behind somebody? I don't give a damn what he is. I got to get my time in it. It's the only way I can show who I am. I can't do that
Right.
from the
Right.
sideline. You want to see my number? Man, I
Right.
got
Yeah.
Yeah.
coach.
And
And
I
coach
and I
tell you
Go
can't
his
ahead,
and I
team
Larry.
do
can't
it.
go back to the crib. You can't go back to the
Yeah.
crib
Nah.
because low key back at the crib they're gonna be like, "What happened? Well, I thought you was." So it was like a lot of like,
Yeah.
just gotta work. I ain't got
Yeah.
no other
Yeah.
option,
Yeah.
but like, just gotta work. Yeah.
That's right.
They see the stat sheet talking about, man, I ain't seen you. I said, you really don't understand what's going on around here. Like this politics stuff is like eating me up. I can beat everybody out, so well, I'm still gonna let him start because he ain't got nothing. Man, I don't care about them. I gotta care about me. And it's
Talk
nothing
about me.
personal. I have to care about, I have to know. I have to beat it. If you can't do it, all that other stuff they talk on to you, or he waited his turn. Man, I ain't wait my turn, man. I did not wait my turn.
Right.
They did that because I knew I was supposed to. It's like if things happen like that, and we can't. Sometimes in those moments we can't express that because now, you're giving the power to them to come over you and say and create a narrative. But a lot of times, man, a lot of people get kind of messed over because of that. Saying, oh, he's a senior or he's such and such, and nah, man. I lost respect for the coach and everything. I said, you don't even want to win.
Right.
Because if you
Right.
paying somebody who ain't the best on the team, to me, you don't want to win. And nothing they can do to get that out my head. You know what I'm saying? So that stuff like that, that's what you deal with as athletes. It happens in the pros and it happens in college. Sometimes,
Absolutely.
yeah. And then that's what you say. That particular person does not want to win bad as they say they do. Because if they did,
Okay.
they'd play the best people.
Okay.
You start weeding them out. That's how you start weeding them out over time. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Larry. What you was gonna say?
hey, so
Yeah, LD has
from your
something on his
transition,
spirit. Go ahead, LD.
now, so I'm just trying to, I want to hear this because I never even heard this, right?
Okay.
So because when we link back up, you had already went through all these stages, and then we link up out here in Arizona, which I didn't know you was out here, and I'm like, is that legit? Is that the legit from? Nah, that ain't the legit from. Nah, that's him. Because of your massive. Hey, if y'all ain't see this dude, man, this dude calf bigger than most people waist.
Wow.
Hey,
LD going.
hey, this dude look, this dude in the weight room, bruh. When I used to watch his videos and see what the fuck he was throwing up, ain't
Right.
no way. Ain't no way.
He showed you the
I said,
way.
ain't no way.
He showed
Hey,
you.
hey. So from your time at AU now to the next phase or chapter in your life, how did that all go down from AU now to going to the league?
Mm. So that everything they say, enjoy the moment because it goes fast, man. Everything does happen like very fast, bro. Um, so after so my last year, I did the pro day. I got called in the 5th round by the Jags. The GM they called me, asked me a few questions. So my heart beating like, maybe, you know what I mean? It's about that time. And didn't call me or didn't draft me. Then from there, my agent, he was young at the time, but my agent, he said, well, we got this contract on the table for you to go to Montreal, Canada. So, but I'm kind of messed up. So I'm like, well, my dream is this is plan A, gotta work, big dog. So it was like one of those they say stay ready. So when the call come, you can go, right? So I got a job at this gym. And just to stay ready, to be honest. So I got the job at this little gym at the time to stay ready. And then that window of time came where training camp was about to start, and I had this contract on the table. So I packed my bags. I was really distraught at the time, but I packed my bags and was about to head to the airport. Uh, it's crazy. This is called a testimony. So I got on my knees before I left my homeboy crib. I got on my knees and I prayed hard. And I said, Lord, you didn't bring me this far to leave me. You didn't give me this dream just for nothing. And I said, I need you. I need you right now. I need a sign. I need you to show me, give me a sign. If I'm supposed to go, then so be it. If I'm not supposed to go, I need a sign from you now. And I was bawling, tears, the whole night. So I wiped my face, got my bags, headed to the airport in Tucson, and it's a light right before you cross that street to go down the terminal. There's a light right there. So I went ahead, red, green turn, going down the terminal chute, and I get a call from my agent, and he was like, "Hey, CJ, where you at? I'm about to go on this flight to go to Montreal." He said, "No, wait." He said, "The Browns just called me. They want to bring you in for a workout." I'm like, he don't even know. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, whoa. He don't even know that I prayed this prayer. You know what I'm saying? I prayed
Wow.
this prayer just 20 minutes, 15 minutes ago. He hit me with the A. So I'm like, okay, thank you, Lord. So boom, reroute me. I go to the Browns. I do my workout. They didn't sign me. However, the next following, I went to Montreal, got up there late. It was already in season. I have 2 preseason games. So I played one, and then it's a ratio game. So they sent me back to the crib, but they held my rights for a year. So Seattle Seahawks called me. I couldn't go because they have my rights. It's illegal for real. They're not supposed to do that. And then on top of that, if you sign, they got to pay you, but they didn't pay me. So I was at the crib under contract, not getting paid no nothing. The Seahawks couldn't bring me in. The 49ers call couldn't bring me in. So I'm stuck. Okay. So I waited. But I'll tell you this, that was a time in my life where I had to sit with myself. And I had to really sit with myself and ask myself, how bad do I really love this game of football? Like how bad do I really want this? So over the next course of a season, 6, 8 months, off season, I just stayed ready. Went back to the gym, boom, stayed just so I can work out for free, stay ready. And then the following season I was headed back to Montreal. I got up there, I'm doing my thing, because I'll be honest, the year before, I didn't want to be there, bro. I was up there like, man, I ain't supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be in the league. You know what I'm saying? My mentality was messed up. But the following year, from sitting out for a year of football, the following year I went back, and from sitting out, I was like, man, I'm happy to be here. Everything switched, right? I'm happy to be here. I love it up here. Like, it is what it is. So I really embraced the moment and hugged it with all I had. We was in season. The GM, the GM from the Jags went to the Browns. Okay, here go God moment. The GM from the Jags went to the Browns management shift. I was still on that GM's whiteboard. So they was going through their training camp. Jerome Harrison at the time, he got hurt. So they needed a running back. So they called me. I'm downtown in Montreal eating sushi. They called me. They was like, "Hey man, this the Browns. We want to bring you in tonight, fly you out to bring you in for a workout." I said, "Okay."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "What flight can you get on?" Blah blah blah. So I ended up packing my whole crib where I was staying. I packed my whole house. My cousin Eric, he was doing logistics. I had him ship my stuff from Montreal down to Ohio to Cleveland. I flew out, got down there, and did the workout. And they had another back. They call them recycle backs. Like he just went from team to team to getting these workouts. So I did my workout. I heard about Buddy, but again, I'm like, I'm not going in the house with my butt beat. So he got to get this. Like they signing me, big dog. They signing me. So all
Okay.
my stuff en route headed to Cleveland. It's not even in Montreal no more. I did the workout. I did CJ. Later on that night, at 11 o'clock that night, they signed me, right? My stuff got there the following day, okay? So, man, it's something about faith. But all that happened so fast, and the next thing I know, from going and being in season shape, going back to do training camp again with the Browns, it was like, let's run it. Here I am. So they call me Fresh Legs. But like I was out there just giving them my all, and that's kind of how everything happened so fast. Just to answer your question, yeah,
Damn, that's amazing. That's amazing.
yeah.
So,
Hey,
wow,
shit, when
because
you got to bring the playbook and all that other stuff, that shit, it's a
we
lot.
just had a moment here, right, where
Mm-hmm.
born in California, right, single parent, don't know your
Mm-hmm.
father, raised by grandparents along with your mother in Huntington, West Virginia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got other two siblings or sisters, so kind of does you being physical, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
11 years old, you introduced to the game of football, right? Even
Mm-hmm.
being introduced to the game of football at 11, that structure had already been placed in your life because your grandma wasn't going to
Mm-hmm.
settle for you being subpar. You had to do your best no matter what, whether it was sweeping the porch or playing on the football
Mm-hmm.
field or going outside to fight some
Yeah.
dudes, bruh, them, or whoever the hell they is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you take that same drive and you wear that with a passion, like a badge of honor.
Mm-hmm.
And you,
Mm-hmm.
now with through that you able to build a certain level of confidence in your life. And now that's an addition
Mm-hmm.
to that badge of honor, right? Now
Mm-hmm.
what that has created is a certain type of passion that you have. And that passion is, ain't no way in fuck I'm gonna lose. Regardless
Come
of
on,
what it may be, regardless of what I'm doing,
come on.
I gotta
Mm-hmm.
win.
Yeah,
All I know is win
Mm-hmm.
because losing is
Mm-hmm.
gonna result in getting my ass whooped because you know what's on your mind? Your grandma's still in your ear. You know what I'm saying?
Still
But
there.
that's a
Yeah.
drive. That's a drive that has been instilled in you. Now you done went through things in
Mm-hmm.
your life. Little league football,
Mm-hmm.
high school standout athlete, miss the SAT by 1 point, go to JUCO.
Mm-hmm.
From JUCO, go to
Mm-hmm.
U of A. From there to the league, to getting sent down for a
Mm-hmm.
year, going to Canadian, coming back to the league, working out, having your
Mm-hmm.
time and your
Mm-hmm.
experiences in the NFL. Now here we are sitting here
Mm-hmm.
today, right? Tell me what
Mm-hmm.
has
Mm-hmm.
everything, what has that done for you over time, and how do you utilize that right now in your life today?
Man, that was a great recap. You didn't miss a beat. I was gonna say, man, you did your thing, big dog.
hey,
Sheesh.
that's right.
Appreciate that. Appreciate
Man,
that, brother.
That's why he do what he
man,
do.
man, I love it. I would say what has that done for me today? Um, like you said, it's giving me a level of confidence where some people can call it arrogance and call it what the Lord, they. winners like to see winners win. You know, anything outside that realm,
Okay.
we know what that is and who they are. And but it's a certain level of confidence that as an athlete, as you all are as athletes, even from a military standpoint, you have to you have to have and really embrace and hug and wear a certain level of confidence about yourself. Bro, like there's no way in the
Okay.
world anybody's doing anything they're doing in their life with a level of doubt. Like, no, you're confident in this podcast. You're confident in selling cars. You're confident in everything you do. But yes, I really do embrace, appreciate, but for what has made me to be today, I'm just appreciative to it, to know that I can instill the little seeds of confidence that I have into other people's lives, no matter what age they are. You know what I'm saying? But it has done its good deed in my life to be who I am in every room I walk in. In every room I walk in, I've always been a sponge. Like I don't know it all, but I like to absorb information. You know, a lot of people who have
Mm-hmm.
succeeded in their life, they don't mind talking about themselves. And in them talking about
Mm-hmm.
themselves, you can grab little nuggets and little thing. Okay, that worked. When I was playing running back, I was considered a power back. Then they called me a slasher because I had met these little scabby little 5'8", 5'9" guys. I'm like, wait, you know, running back. Like, what's that? Little guys, but they can get up out in and out of situations. So it was like, man, I liked it
Mm-hmm.
how they can get in and out of situations. And then I had my power substance. I was like, I'm gonna give you what you're coming for, so I could bind the two. And it was like, oh, that's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? I could be that when necessary, and I could be that when necessary, and I could run. I'm a big boy that can run. So like as a man, as an adult, to grab the little nuggets from people in certain industries and certain worlds and spaces where they have succeeded and became the 1%, I absorb it all, information, I absorb it. And now when I walk in, like I said, when I walk into any room I walk in a certain level of confidence because I've humbled myself to receive wisdom through
Mm-hmm.
experience and knowledge. And then I
Mm-hmm.
remember Nana voice. I remember, hey, not like you're not
Okay.
following the crowd,
Okay.
you a leader. You know who you are. Like I
Okay.
tell my kids, what's your last name? When they start acting little, hey, your last name, that's not a Jennings. What's your last name? Just so they can understand, like,
Okay.
this different over here. We not like the rest of the world. Yeah, 100%.
Damn, that's dope, dog.
That's up.
That's
You,
dope.
hey,
I love
Oh,
that. And he said something, and Coach, I seen when you
it's real
called it.
talk.
What he said, Coach? I like to see winners what? Winners like to see other winners do what?
Win.
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 Come
You
on,
know what I'm
Hey,
man.
that's all.
saying?
Hey,
And that's huge.
woo. Hey,
Mm,
it's so big because like I like to spread it. You know what I'm saying? And it's infectious. You know what I'm saying?
mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when people like, oh, why are you doing that with them? Why, like, man, like, why ask why? Like, join if you be in the circle of winning and you understand. When I wake up in the morning, I won, bro. It's like it's on, baby. You know what I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
other day when I posted and I came in on Saturday and I came in second in the golf tournament.
Yeah, that bothers you.
Some
That ate
people
you
when
up.
I was they was like, man, you did good. That bothered me. I was like, I didn't train to come in second. I said
Mm,
That's right.
tomorrow I will come in first. I've already picked
mm,
out an outfit that I'm gonna wear when they take the photo. So I
mm,
ain't gonna waste this. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? So that's what me and LD talked about it before I played the other day. I was like, man, I gonna win this thing, man. It's like
mm,
I refuse to be infected. It's just ain't gonna happen.
mm,
And I ain't been playing
Wow.
for about
That's
a year.
amazing. That's dope
But
though, man.
it's the will, but it's the will to win. Is the competitiveness is trying to figure it out. I ain't waiting on somebody to do it. I have to do this in order for this to work. I have to be that
mm,
Yeah.
person. I have to be the
Yeah.
person that they
Yeah.
choose that's going to stand in front of
mm,
that I'm be number one. You know what I'm saying? You
mm.
got to have a
Mm.
certain level of confidence. Fuck what they say, talking about arrogance, this, that. Like, in order for you to be that person, you got to be that person.
You
And people
have
going to
to.
talk all day about who
Mm,
they going, how they going to say, whatever they come. I can't control that, but I know me
mm,
because I live
mm,
Mm.
inside this body
That's right.
and I know what I
mm,
want, and I'm gonna go get it.
That's right.
mm,
That's right.
mm.
So
Hey,
Bro, that's so beautiful.
go
S
Like,
ahead, Eddie.
like the thing in that is like this is your. Go ahead, LD. Go ahead.
SNAO.
Yeah.
Tell them about it.
Come on. Well, I think FNAO is a acronym I came up with back in 2011 or 2011, 10, 11. And because it was like, okay, I had just went through my first off season, and then I started thinking about like, okay, well, I accomplished my dream. I accomplished everything I sought out to accomplish. So how I started I had an interview with myself. I had a conversation with myself in my condo down in Albuquerque. But when I was there in that room, I was like, yo, like, you done sought out, you have accomplished, how? And then I started to have, and then in that moment, there was no really answer for real. I'll be honest. I went to sleep that night. I had a dream the next morning, because God will speak through you through your dreams, you know. Especially that's the moment you're quiet, you're still, you're not moving around in noise, like you're. So he spoke to me. I woke up. Then I started having this whole rabbit hole of reflection of how I was raised, with how I couldn't dress like everybody. I had to pull my britches up on my, you know what I'm saying? I had to wear a belt. I couldn't be like everybody else for real. I couldn't go outside past the street lights. I had to. So in that, it was if I had to dress, I couldn't dress like everybody else. Okay, I I'm hold on, rewind. Everything I accomplished in my life, I didn't seek out to fail. I sought out to succeed. You know what I'm saying? I sought out to succeed. My plan A, I was going to succeed. Me going to JUCO, okay, whatever, but I'm going to go be the best. I had to succeed. Me going to U of A, I had to succeed. Me going to Canada, that's still the detours. I'm still going to succeed. In that, I couldn't find a glimpse of failure. So I was okay. Failure. Okay, failure failure's not an option. Okay, cool. Then my boy BJ said something about an acronym. I said, what's an acronym? So he, told abbreviations. So I said, okay, failure's not failure's not. So I FNAO. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so now what do I do with it? How do I give this to the world? So then I went, like I said, I went to bed that night, woke up, thought about my upbringing. I couldn't dress like everybody. Okay, so then I'll give it through clothing, right? I'll give it through, t-shirts and nice apparel, right? And then later on that next night, I went to sleep, woke up again. Man, I saw myself in my dream walking out on stage, and I saw nothing but thousands of, like, a crowd, an ocean of people. And I'm like, okay, motivational speaking. Like I'm a, motivationally speak one day. I'm gonna be a speaker. So then everything started coming like that. Ran with the brand, the whole nine. But I knew it was always bigger than the brand. And it's bigger than the t-shirt. Like, that's just a message getting across. But everybody has a story. You got a story. LD got a story. But every story that you all have, failing ain't a part. I mean, that's a part of the process. As I matured and start learning, like, okay, you can't have success without failure. So it's pretty much brother and sister. It's a marriage thing. But in that moment, to answer your question, LD, that's FNL, how that birthed. As I become a man, I'm realizing, like, you need that. You can't have it without. You can't have success without failure. What the Bible says, a righteous man falls 7 times, but a wise man gets up 8. Right?
Okay.
Failure is a part of the
Okay.
process. You know?
Okay.
You have to start somewhere, big dog. And the failure is a part of that.
I fell out with my sister.
What
I
happened?
said I fell out with my
Mom?
sister. Shit.
Mm.
I said I fell out with my sister. Hey,
Oh God.
failure's not an option. Goddamn it.
Hey,
And
that's dope though,
it could
man.
be my
That's dope.
sister that I'm gonna fall out.
Congratulations.
I'm gonna fall out with that
Hey,
motherfucker.
hey, congratulations on that. So FNAO, that's a brand, and that's part of you know what I'm saying? How that's what you have presented to the world, then, right? So you use that as
Yep. Failure not an option. Yep.
that's part of your success story. So you're continuing even after sports, right? To rebrand yourself and still present yourself before the world in a positive manner, right? And and like you say, you like to pour into kids. and that's something that that's great, because a lot of kids will fail and don't even know that they're failing, right? And then they stay where they at because they get comfortable there. But you being able to pour into them and say failing is not an option. So yeah, you're gonna go through some things. You're gonna have detours in life, right? But let's keep the main thing the main thing. Even on that detour, let's find a way to reroute and get back where you need to be at. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to tell you, I greatly appreciate you coming on here, joining us today, sharing your story, giving us your testimony. God is definitely good. You know what I'm saying? You just continue to walk in your greatness. You know what I'm saying? Continue to walk in your greatness, because it's somebody watching, and you're gonna be that example for the next person that's coming behind you that can say, "Damn, Chris did it. I know I can do it." You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I just want to tell you, I appreciate you. LD, anything you want to add?
So I was on the way to the gym this morning in my 48-year-old body, and I was like thinking to myself, and I said, what if I stop working out today? What all that I've done meant something if I stopped today? Would I still be able to move the same way, and will I still look the same way, and will I still think the same way? And the conclusion that I came up with on the way to the gym was no.
Right.
I must continue, because what I've done, yes, it has gotten me to this point. But if I don't continue from this point, then what will I get?
Nothing.
I'll get everything that I got from the point of when I stopped. So if I want to raise the bar and continue to become, I must continue. And in continuing, there's a conditioning and a practice that you must attend to or become present to daily. And I wanted to just say, man, I appreciate you, because, when I used to turn on Instagram, and I'm like you, I get a lot of motivation from a lot of people. So I need to see somebody working out. So I would see a couple of people working out, and then I would see you working out. And I say, well, if he's still working out, I must continue to work out.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Having that type of motivation. Coach,
The
anything you
one
want to
thing,
add?
yeah, I was going to.
Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead, go ahead.
One thing I heard, and when you were saying that, LD, is consistency. That's the one word that popped out, is stay consistent. Because even playing the sports we done played, we done been through the wire, we done been yelled at, screamed at. Just stay consistent. You have a good day, bad day, okay, get up, get back in the game. Stay consistent, And that was the word that came to me when I heard you say that, LD. You get up in the morning, don't feel like it. First off, our feelings don't always tell us the truth. We don't feel like doing a lot of what we do, but we know it's what we have to do, right? It is what it is. We have to do what we have to do. And I love what you said, LD. I was gonna say I appreciate you for even thinking about me, just the slightest, because I looked up to you growing up, playing the game.
Right.
You, Jerry, and then Randy Moss and them came about, and I was like, man, like that's super, that's cool, that's awesome. You're making plays. The crowd is like, that's amazing. I want to do that one day. So I want to give your flowers. Thank you for you just staying true to who you were at that time, and even to this day, to show, because you said, you never know who's looking, and I'm inspiring. Well, do you inspire me? You feel me? So I want to say thank you for inspiring me to go chase a dream that you was living and chasing and doing it. That's, bro, like, you put something inside me. Like, if he could do that, then I can do that. He ain't no human. He ain't no different of a human being than I am. He's a real talk.
Real.
So I was gonna say thank you. I appreciate you, LD, a bunch.
That's what's up.
I'm hugging you right now, big dog. I hope you feel that. Yeah. Yeah, big dog. I felt, hey, I used to turn that TV and be like, man, like, who the? Yeah, big dog. I just want to say thank you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's real, though.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I would say when I used to, older guys used to, I used to ask the older guys who were in shape when I was younger, you know, what it is, what's the secret, you know what I'm saying? You know, to keep them young, right? And they tell me a little nugget and I log it in. You know what I'm saying? And one of the things that was consistent is they said, keep moving, keep doing something. You know what I'm saying? If you keep moving, keep doing something, right? And then you add in the person that you are, the work ethic and what it takes to get there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember a few years back, a guy gave me an extra large shirt. At the time, I was probably about 280, 290. Gave me an extra large shirt, right? I was like, oh, he's trying to. First in your mind, say, oh, this cat trying to be funny or whatever, right? But I said in my mind as a competitor, right? I'm gonna fit into that shirt, right?
One day.
That's why I wear currently today. Today, right now, I wear extra large.
That's what's up.
You feel me? So you need those type of motivations, or
large.
however you want to lose your motivation, to keep working hard, right? Because people are watching you, right? And in the competitive spirit, you know what I'm saying? If you were setting an example, right? Sometimes you need that talking to say, hey, I got to keep it moving because it's still people want to see me succeed just like I want them to see to succeed. So we keep binding, right? Sharing our inspiration, our stories, our great stories of what we've done, and it's not perfect, and we still stop. And whatever we do, we're not gonna lower the standard. We're gonna do it until be the best that we can be because that's bred into us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for us young kings. So I appreciate all y'all hard work and what y'all do, and I understand it. I understand the work ethic. And some people who understand that way understand how to get on it.
That's
Hey, Cam,
real.
hold on. So watch this. And I like what you said, Demetrius, and I like what you said, Chris, because sometimes you become the example from the example.
Yeah.
So the person that was your example, now you become the example.
That's right.
And that's what I love about life, because now I cheer a lot. I couldn't stand cheerleading or cheering, doing none of that. But I had to learn that now I do need examples, and I do need to get online and see somebody who extra motivated or extra happy or doing this or doing this, right?
Yeah.
So now, moving me from being the example, now that person has become my example.
That's real.
Boy.
That's real.
Yeah.
Why?
That's full circle,
That's
ain't
real.
it?
Hey,
Yeah.
this give me chill bumps because I guarantee you, bro, I watch you and Gladstone Coach, right? When it comes to working out, because I'm like, okay, if I could just pace them dudes, right? If I could just pace them, because I got you by a lot as far as years, right? But if I can pace them and stay in the game, right, and run my pace, but continue, and that's what the world sometimes forget, is that you can't be so prideful or so egotistical to where you can't say, you know what, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that. Now I gotta fit. Now I gotta fit. Now I'm gonna wear that bitch. I don't know how long I'm gonna fit in it, but I'm gonna wear it right now. And those are all those little ideas or those examples, right? I'm gonna put that fit on. But I don't know how long I'm gonna wear it, but I know in the moment it fit me. Now I might outgrow it, and then now I might become the example again. But that's how life is. This person becomes the example, and then I become the example, or they become the example. But that's the ebbs and flows of life.
Well,
No,
again,
that's so
I'm
true.
gonna say this.
I think that also goes in the notion of like iron sharpens iron, you know? Yeah.
That's real, Chris. That's real. And even with that, right? All of us have had examples, and at some point of our life have become an example. And I'm gonna ask from me to you guys that we just continue to put our hand to the plow daily and continue to have great examples and also be great examples, because it's always somebody watching. And until next time, another great podcast on Two Pair Podcast. Peace, guys.